Hey YouTube, looking at a legend run from trainer Nawfall. So sorry if I mispronounced it, but thank you for the submission. It is a Sandslash Charizard Jellicent. So this is the team they use to hit legend. First impressions of the team. So pro, whenever you're going to use a Sandslash, covering your double weakness to fire and double weakness to fighting weakness in the back is smart. Charizard Jellicent does that very, very well. One thing I did notice, you are double weak to electric in the back. So W2 electric in the back. You do have drill run and AC and slash to deal with electric. If it's a Zapdos, you have ice punch. So it's not terrible. The other thing I noticed is double Shadow Claw, AC and slash and Jellicent both running Shadow Claw, which makes this team a little difficult if you see a dark or normal typing. Will cause you a bit of problems. Uh, Outside of that, I like the team. I think it's balanced. I think you have, otherwise you cover your fighting weakness and your grass weakness and your water weakness all throughout. So I think the team is overall pretty balanced, just outside of the couple things I just mentioned there. But let's look into the battles and see how this plays out. So Sandslash into Tapu. This is like a okayest matchup. So it is Shadow. Oops, I forgot to put the Shadow. It is Shadow a Sandslash. So dealing a little more damage, but also taking a little more damage. Tapu doesn't hit super hard. So able to survive one surf and able to get the second drill run off. This will take out. So likely to grab a shield and full farm. Not going to let them farm. I like the aggressive swap here. And there is one of the darks that you are going to have to contend with, right? At least it's a poison fast move here. So at least the poison's resisted. But these crunches, all you need is two to take out here. We'll get off a couple surfs to chip. The good news is that the Tapu's low, and if it's a Tapu in the front, you unlikely that they have like a Swampert or something in the back. So your Charizard with two shields, possibly more. I mean, like they still have one. What I meant by more, two. We're talking about this two shield advantage here. Charizard probably should be able to roam pretty free on this. Interesting if you just come in Charizard and get a head on energy here, because they stand, or you're gonna start, yeah, getting a head on energy here is not a bad idea. Shield, that's fine. I think coming out with energy here to throw at the Tapu. So nice combo play by them. You can live one, but I think it's just worth shielding because you don't know what's in the back yet. And my bet is that you will be able to deal with it. Bank a move, which I think is smart. Force them to throw here, which I think is smart. There's no point of like throwing and then letting their other Pokemon get a little bit of energy advantage. I'd rather you get the energy advantage here. So you'll be able to take out the Drapion. They also are switch locked, and it is a Charizard. So this, yeah, it's non-shadow over shadow. So non-shadow over shadow, you can go Blast Burn, Dragon Claw. You can go double Dragon Claw on the shadow over shadow. You can also go like Blast Burn, Shadow on Shadow, Blast Burn, and a couple wing attacks. So just those are the different matchups there. So good win there. Sandslash against Guzzlord, right? So pros and cons. It's an overall win, so I think that's fine. Walrein is resist. I'm surprised you're throwing here. I'm gonna just stop right here because this is resisted, right? They are a bug, and they are bug and water. So Ice Punch is resisted and Drill Run is resisted. I think, just off my first look at the team, you're throwing because you don't have an immediate answer to this. The Charizard, the wing attack will be super effective, but then you will also be taking super effective from liquidation and becomes a bit of a bait game whether they're going to throw that there. And then Jellicent, one Shadow Ball from full health does not take out. And although they unlikely have anything to really throw at you, Aerial Ace is the only neutral move. X's are liquidation resisted. The Shadow Claw is super effective, will add up in a sort of evenish health, evenish energy and matchup. So my guess is that I'm assuming you know your typings, but if you don't, I still think throwing the drill run, even though resisted, might not be the worst move, because now it puts this in. It's not Shadow Claw, it's Hex. I'm sure someone has already called. That's not the first time I've done this, because I always say, can you imagine Jellicent with Shadow Claw? No, it's. Oh, and I double copied it, so I have to delete one. Okay. I will fix that while I keep talking. It is Hex Jellicent. Still holds true that it's Hex and 2 Ghost moves, but it's Hex. But now that you've chipped them enough, Hex plus Shadow Ball will be enough to take them out from this range. So I don't think overall it was the worst idea to throw, even if it's a resisted move. So again, you're not taking much damage from their charge moves at all. And now you put them basically in Shadow Ball and Hex range. So take the second resisted liquidation. Again, you could take a third one. You can just go 2 shield advantage, which is not a worst case scenario. Again, Charizard with 2 shield advantage is pretty solid. I would go chip there. I know you couldn't get to a move, but if you chipped it, you could have then just gone wing attack down. As opposed to now probably having to shield the liquidation anyways. Yeah, so get chipped there. Good CMP. If they get, oh, you got a phone like me with these frame drops and delays and stuff like that. Defense Deoxys. I think you've got to, so you're doubling to fighting. And you have Charizard. I think you got to get out immediately. Now you just let him farm up. That if he has Rock Slide, it'll double super effective, take you out. Or Thunderbolt's gonna be super effective. So luckily that it's just Thunderbolt Guzzlord. This game is over. So I think 2 mistakes here. I think again, it's not the worst case scenario to do what you did. With the Sandslash chipping there with the Sandslash chipping and then coming into Jellicent. It's not the worst idea. And then 2, you got to chip with Surf on the Glycopod, so you can just come in and wing attack and get ahead on energy and then just go 2 shielded Charizard. And then once you saw the Defense Deoxys, you cannot stay in that long with a Sandslash taking double super effective. I know you're doing super effective Shadow Claws, but taking that double super effective damage is just much, much worse. So again, Claws, bad lead. You can live 1 Hydro. It'll hurt, but you'll live 1. You can't really go Charizard, and this is where the double Ghost fast move kind of kills you. Not worth the bait there. I think if you're going to bait, you bait the second time, not the first time. They get off a Night Slash, so you're able to chip again. So you grab 1 shield, it's no harm in the end. Right, and this is with a flaw. This is kind of the flaw I saw on the team because there are a lot of darks running around in general, and a dark water makes this team almost unusable at times. But let's see if you can get out of this. They recognize that they're going to grab the second shield right back from you here. So that's good recognition from them, knowing that they could do that. I don't like them giving up Switch there, though. I think that's dumb. So they gave up Switch and allowing you to get to a Surf here. Blast Burn does like 50%. Yeah. Blast Burn plus the wing attacks will put this in takeout range. And now you got way too great there. Yeah, that's kind of dumb on the third. There's no point of throwing the... Okay. Someone in my comments said, finish your sentence. But there's so much going on in my mind. So the first thing is, Blast Burn plus wing attacks does over 50%. So 2 Blast Burns will take out, from Shadow Charizard, will take out Jellicent. I don't even think a Surf takes out a Charizard from this range, but you gotta throw it and advance there. To your opponent, there's no reason to throw the Dragon Claw there because you're not going to be able to even farm down here. You just need to go back-to-back Blast Burn. So get the Surf off. Okay, Surf is enough. Have a move coming out. This is good. Chip. How much? I don't think they have a lot of health left, so this will probably take them out. Yeah. Cresselia, can you get to the Shadow Ball? I think it's worth the fight. Yep. It's worth trying that because this is very effective. And now Charizard, as long as they don't have a Future Sight, if it's a Grass Knot Moonblast, you're just great. It is. Blast Burn should take this game for you. Yeah. 2 wing attacks down, no problem. Okay, Trevenant. This is a good lead. Aurorus, this is probably where I would stay too. Super effective, because you have Charizard and yeah, Chip there, come in here. Meteor Beam, because you can take Meteor Beam here a lot better. They both are neutral on Jellicent and a Sandslash. So just taking those, just make sure you get the Surf off before they get to another move. And you're right, Sandslash and Charizard have better matchups against the Trevenant than Jellicent, so coming in here is not bad. Plus you'll still get a Shadow Ball off. Baiting, I don't think it's worth the bait here. Even if they shield, I don't think it's worth the bait. Let's see what they shield or not. So here's why I would never bait in this situation. They know you have a Sandslash in the front, which is an absolutely brutal matchup for them. So really, their only potential win condition is, I bet you they have an answer to a Sandslash in the back. Their really only potential win condition is 2 shielding whatever's in the back for the win. So they're realistically, I think 9 times out of 10, never going to shield this up because they're just going to get a brutal matchup against a Sandslash anyways coming in. So you got to grab the shield there or do as much damage as you can. There's no real point of baiting. So now they can take you out and still have health and still switch. So never bait in that. Again, I always say never bait, but you see me bait multiple times on this channel. That is the situation you cannot bait in. You have to throw the Shadow Ball there. So there is your Obstagoon, but this is looking like generally a hard counter. Let the first Ninetales go unless just in case they get boosted. They did not. Try and time it right on 5 for CMP. Yep, so that's good. Going straight Blast Burn is correct as well. I expect they just quit knowing that this game is over. Again, you'll live a Night Slash in this range, so you don't need to. You're going to CMP again. Dragon Claw is all you need. I think you match shields. Yeah, this one I would match shields for sure. Instance, yeah, that's not bad just to like grab a shield and let the timer burn out there. Claw, grab the last shield. They may try and, because their Obstagoon's really low, so they may try and just get the Shadow Ball off. Then they can hope that they can get a couple more claws or get maybe a counter or 2 through. But you'll probably be able to farm down. They're going to need only 1 counter here. Is not going to be enough for them. You should be able to wing attack down before they take you out here. Yeah, so good CMP and stuff like that. The only thing I would say is throw the Shadow Ball to basically take out the Trevenant earlier enough. Okay, Claw a Sandslash against this is a good... So it's a good matchup in the fact that you're doing neutral and getting to these draw runs. Bad news is they have an Earthquake. Will an Earthquake one-shot an a Sandslash? The question is, I don't know, and neither do you, so you are getting out of here. And again, in matchups, when you're double weak to electric, not that there's a lot of electric in here, you got to try and pull out your weakness like that in the back. Pull out the Poison Dark. Skunk is a little tankier than Drapion, so 2 Surfs are not going to take this out. They should be able to outpace you here. And again, now you're coming back in Resisted Claws, right? So you either come Resisted Claws or neutral wing attacks to try and take this down. You're still just going to come Claws. You're going to have to throw, though. You're going to CMP here. So you're good with understanding when to charge up a bit. So that puts you on like a little bit of higher tier of players. They could be at an Earthquake. Now it's a bait game. Going to call it. The Earthquake does land, which is unfortunate. They now have Powder Snows. Powder Snows are going to add up. You can live 1, but the second one's going to be taking you out pretty much. Nidoqueen, this game's over. Because the Nidoqueen is just going to overpower you. Even if they let this go, they can just throw the Poison Fang here, lower your attack. So even if you have to shield in this scenario, the Poison Jabs are just going to add up that they can basically... Ooh, okay, you found your only potential help here. They are running double nukes. If it was Poison Fang, this game was over. Because they lower your attack, they lower your defense, and then the Poison Jabs add up. It still may be over. You get this off. Powder Snows are resisted. It's going to be close. I think they still probably take you out here with the Powder Snows. Yeah. It was kind of doomed. It was kind of doomed when that Earthquake landed. And then when you let the first Icicle Spear go there. Weather Ball. What the hell is the move? Icicle Spear. Why am I blanking on the charge move from Walrein? Sorry, the first charge move from Walrein. Once you let that go, it's the same with the Swampert matchup. If you have Swampert or Charizard, they're both they're glass cannons, right? So even if you're non-Shadow Charizard, like a Shadow Charizard and Shadow Swampert take over 50% from those moves. But that you did like 40%, but then it was just a fast move damage on the back end there. So you almost need letting the Earthquake go. That's just a call. I don't mind letting that Earthquake go. That was just a 50-50 chance there. But I think you may have to shield up that. It's Icicle Spear, right? So this is a good matchup. I'm surprised they are not getting out because this is a really good matchup for you and they have nothing to throw at you. So I'm really surprised they're staying in. Just let any move go. Dazzling Gleam hurts, but like, yeah, Icicle Spear. Powder Snow, Icicle Spear. Sorry, so Icicle Spear. I'm really surprised they stayed in this matchup. Dazzling Gleam, yes, chips, but they're not going to get to another one before you get to the move, and then you're going to win CMP and be loaded with energy. So that screams to me that they're probably weak to this in the back, which means that if they come in with something like, right, there's your sort of problem here. You have there was a normal typing, which is a good answer to your Sandslash because Shadow Claw is resisted and double super effective kicks. It's not the worst coming in here because you will get a ton of surfs off. Fast move timing. Oh wait, they're both the same fast moves, so it doesn't matter about timing. And you will chip enough here. Now, do you call this or just try and go 2 shield? You're just going to try and go 2 shielded Charizard. Let the switch clock come up. I still think they're probably weak in the back to this, to A-Slash. I'm assuming this is just a body slam, but these are going to probably add up pretty quick. Right? It's the same thing as the last matchup. So there's your crest. Not surprising that the Sandslash. That's an easy recognition for me and for anyone else in that situation. If you have a Powder Snow, a Ninetales, if you have an Sandslash and for some reason your opponent's Ninetales, which has an Ice and Fairy, is staying in, it's because their backline, they're like ABA weak to Sandslash and they can't immediately come in with their B because 1, you probably have an answer for it, and 2, then you're still, if you get out, they just have 2 Pokemon that are going to lose to it. So it's recognition that they're also weak to Sandslash on the back, and that is Crest. Crest is probably also weak to Charizard, as long as it doesn't have Future Sight. So you get the claws off, get the Trevenant off. This is a pretty easy matchup. I think Charizard 2 Shield is your way to go anyways. So take the Moonblast, resisted, Psycho Cuts are resisted, Claws are super effective, getting a Drill Run. If they go Moonblast here, then you need to potentially worry that they're just going to go for aggressive farm down. Yeah, okay, good throw for Chip. They're going to go for aggressive farm down, maybe have... Yeah, but this game's over. Oh, and they lose CMP. This game's definitely over. Because now they're just Wing Attack, Dragon Claw range. So easy win there. Just easy win on the team recognition that they don't have anything to deal with you. Shield here. Dragon Claw does not quite take out because you are non-shadow. They only have Moonblast, so they definitely have Moonblast, Grass Knot, and this game is over. So Charizard is an interesting one. It's good for you just because you're going to outpace with the Claws and Ice Punches before they get to the Blast Burns anyways. And you're both Shadows, so your damage is going to be a lot. Even if they bait here, it's worth the shield. Just because you're going to get to a second Ice Punch before anyways. Before they get to a Blast Burn. If they let this go, maybe they live with like a couple HP. And now it's up to you whether you want to... I still think you outpace. Yeah, I think you outpace even with multiple baits. And now you're definitely going to outpace, but you're going to lose CMP. But this should just be a Dragon Claw. Like, I don't know a lot about counts, but I know enough to know that that's not a blast burn yet. So yeah, you're going to outpace. Um, it is interesting that your safe swap is Jellicent even in bad matchups, because this is a terrible matchup, and I like this obstruct because these hexes are triple resisted, double resisted on the normal, single resisted on the dark, so you can only throw surf. So if they just lower your defense and ramp up their defense, this thing could potentially go off in the back. So I'm really surprised that you are using this. I understand why you're coming. I mean, you have to leave the Sandslash matchup. I'm very surprised you're coming into this matchup. I know you're going to chip a ton with these surfs, but this thing has got to have 100 energy by now. Will take you out. Still have its boost, like its defense boost. Has a bunch of energy. Going to get another one off here. You're not going to have enough energy here. Obstructs again. Should get to Night Slash. Nice catch. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised they obstructed there. I don't think there's a point of obstructing there. I think you just go Night Slash there. They get the boost, but you're going to take them out now. I think your opponent should have Night Slashed you because they would have done like 50% and taken you pretty low. Now it just depends what's in the back, and it's a Trevenant. You can blast burn. So your opponent misplayed that 100%. I think what your opponent needs to do in that scenario is throw the Night Slash, chip you 50%. When you're getting to the blast burn, try to make that catch on the Trevenant. I know Trevenant is kind of a killer back against Charizard, so I know they're just like got nervous there, but you can't throw an obstruct in that situation. So great lead here. Again, red flag should be going off. Okay, so now you're playing this one differently, right? Quicker on the switch. Bait game here, but call the Aerial Ace. Did they not go to liquidation? I actually did not count. These claws are adding up, but the wing attacks are also adding up. Blast burn gets us out of here, so that's nice to take care of this. I think if you instant swap, I think this is probably the right play, and you get a Dragon Claw off, so this will be very, very, very nice chip. They may shield, farm down, and come out with like 2 superpowers, knowing that they're gonna get 1 shield back right away here, potentially 2. They bait and catch. Really nice combo play there. Unfortunately for them, you can like farm up a bit. Yeah, you don't have to farm up. I would have maybe gotten to like an Ice Punch or something. But you have such a good matchup resisting the water guns. You can just Hex, Shadow Ball. Can you aggressively Hex down here? They'll get a Moonblast. That's obvious. Can they get to 2 Moonblasts before you do that? I think so. So I think you probably need to... I think this is probably serve. I think you probably could have gotten a couple more water guns to get to the thing. So it's just resisted. I think they're just doing that for chip because now they can Dragon Breath down, and then they baited once. Now it's can they get to 2 moves, and you get to a move. This will take out. They may have to. Oh, they let it go. Yeah, I guess they have to be worried about the Ice Punch. I mean the Ice Punch. So toughish lead overall. Again, claws are neutral. Drill Run super effective. Focus Blast is gonna one shot. Double super effective on a ice steel. So you have to shield. I'd be surprised if they bait. They do bait. I'm surprised they don't get the lower attack. I'm surprised that they baited. That's kind of a risky bait, but I guess it pays off because they can just shield and get to a Focus Blast here if they want, and they will. You're not going to let them. Yeah, this whole combo breaker, right? Weak to fighting, weak to double, weak to electric in the back. So you're kind of in touch. So what? They're like me. They don't get any of the attack lowering here, so that's 2 times not getting the attack lowered, which means they're probably in Shadow Ball range. Not quite. Charizard comes in. This will be a good chip here. It must be double weak in the back to this, because why would you come Charizard here? Because you're going to get to another move. Or they had double Dragon Claw, and you have to just let this go. I think you have to let this go. Yeah. I think they're probably a double Dragon. Now, what do you do here? Do you come claw and shield up a blast burn here? Yeah, don't throw on CMP. They're going to get outpace you to the blast burn. I think they're going to try and grab the bait. So I mean, you're going to have to throw a lot quicker here. And now it's probably not enough to take out. Now they're going to get to a blast burn. Yeah. So now it's going to be wing attack down, which you'll be able to. And this game's over. There's not a ton you can do there. It's just like Registeel's kind of a core breaker for this team. Yeah, Registeel's kind of a core breaker for the team. I don't think there's a ton that you can do differently. So mirror match, both with nice catch there. This will reach some instant Charizard. Yeah, 1, 2. I think it's just worth shielding and then see if they go straight liquidation or airless. So now it doesn't matter. These super effective wing attacks put this in Dragon Claw range. Ice Punch, you're non-shadow, so you should not be taken out, and you'll get to a blast burn and grab the shield right back. If they're smart, so you're baiting. It's a little, this is bait I don't hate as much actually, because you're down a shield already, and they are in it's a non-shadow versus non-shadow, so I don't even know if this Ice Punch takes out, quite honestly. Yeah. I don't hate that bait because they have such an energy advantage and a shield advantage. You get the second one. They're going to farm up a bit here. Risky catch. I think it worked, but man, that is risky. And now you shield. Okay, so it did not work. And now they'll outpace you. Yeah, I don't love this. You'll live because you are not both shadows, and it's Ultra League, so it's not like the Great League, which are both a bit classier. So able to take it out. What is in the back? Gliscor. Yeah, so that is good. And that is, I think, enough to hit 1,000 wins. Oh my goodness. So 4-1 here. Enough to hit Legend, I believe. If I saw it. Yeah, 3019. So congrats on hitting Legend. So a couple things with, the couple things with the team that I noticed and just your playing and everything. I think overall you did very well with fast move timing and stuff and counting. Like clearly you count way better than I do. The Jellicent, the double ghost Pokemon, I can see it causing problems. I still am not sold on coming into Jellicent in those bad matchups. I know Jellicent is so bulky, and with Surf, it adds, like, even in bad matchups, you're going to chip a ton. You'll lose, but you'll chip a ton. I still think you got to come Charizard in those matchups, but I guess it depends if you can read what the backline is. And then a couple things on, like, when to bait, when to not bait. So in that one shield scenario, if they have a shield advantage, like, I like this bait on the Charizard against a Sandslash when they had so much energy and a shield advantage. I did not like the bait when they were hard lost lead anyways, so that it was unlikely that they were going to shield that one. And then there's just minor plays here and there. I think I like that you adjusted into the matchup, the Charizard matchup after, into the Gliscopod. I think that Charizard is with super effective wing attacks. I know they have liquidation, but that's just kind of a bait game, and you can shield those up, and just wing attacks should be able to overpower anyways. So good adjustment later on for that. So thanks for the video. I've got another viewer submitted video coming this afternoon, and then we are rolling into Catch Cup tomorrow. So I'll look over teams potentially for that tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Congratulations on Legend, and I will see you guys in the next one.